There we go. I've got the recording started. We are happy today to welcome our trainer, Mr. Michael Huggins. This is a guy that's got a great big smile, sparkle in his eye. He's got a fun sense of humor, but most of all, he has got that go-get-'em attitude that has raised him up in his life. It has won him the heart of this beautiful young lady standing next to him, Vanessa. We love to be around both of these people. Uh, Michael is someone that just ceaselessly tries to build up his uh, mental treasure. He's accruing more and more knowledge and self-improvement, and he is just a wealth of information. He encourages everyone that he's around to be better than they are, and he definitely proves that that's a possibility and that success is within our reach. Good morning, Michael. How are you?
Good morning, Ron. Good morning, Renatus Nation. Welcome everybody to the call, to the training. It's Wealth Wednesday. We're going to get started. So hopefully you have your teams and your new recruits on this. If you don't, hurry and send out that link. It's all about duplication, baby. Okay, so today, great news, RPM. Today we're going to talk about RPM and why I use this method to put things on my calendar instead of a to-do list. Now, to-do lists they're okay. They're rudimentary. They keep you focused, but if you don't have any skills or discipline on what to put on your to-do list, then it will overwhelm you and you will never get anything done. Right? You just look at your list and you go, oh, crap. Get one thing done and there's still 5 more things to do tomorrow. And the to-do list is too do-oriented, because if you don't know what you should be working on and you just start working, isn't that a terrible use of your time, terrible use of your energy? So instead of to-dos, right? We got all these to-dos. This is what's crazy. This is what prompted it. I'm sitting here. We just got back from London and Wales, and I'm like, all right, honey, what are we gonna do? And we started going over, oh, we need to do this webinar and this training and get this person booked, and we started making this to-do list. And I'm like, holy crap! How did all of these things end up on my to-do list? This is a lot. And I was like, there's got to be a better way. All of these things can't be my best use of time. So how am I going to figure out, what am I going to do? And it's not, the question isn't what should I do? This is the mistake. The mistake is asking. I'm sharing my screen. Hold on. Sorry, I thought this would happen faster. The mistake is asking the question, what should I do? Okay, that's the flaw. That's where you end up with a to-do list a mile long. So let's not ask, what should I do? That's not the question. Okay, the real question, get this thing sharing. Here we go. Sharing is caring. Okay. Stop. There we go. Okay. So ask the question, what should I do? No, because then you end the to-do list a mile long. There's a better question. Instead of the question, what should I do? I'm going to encourage you to ask the question, what do I want? Right? Or what is the outcome that I'm after? What's my outcome? Right? Or what's the result? So the R in RPM has to do with result. What do I want? Or what is the outcome of this next 30 days? Or what is the outcome of this phone call? Or what is the outcome of this webinar, this event? What's the outcome I want from this year? Okay, this is the question to start building your schedule. What do I want? What is the outcome? Now remember, the key is clear and specific. Because if you just do those typical things that typical people do, and they typically say, I want more money, and then you get $1, you got more money. So if you say, what do I want? And you say, I want more money, you got to be careful with vagueness. It needs to be clear, specific. You need to be able to measure it. I want to make $1 million through Renata's sales in 2018 through personal production, team production, and my bonus. Welcome. I see a few more people popping on. Welcome. Good morning. Today we're talking about RPM. The R in RPM is for result. Okay. So we're not going to make a to-do list. We're going to make a result list. What am I after? Okay. What am I after with my business results? What am I after with my relationship results? What am I after with my health results? Okay. This, if you just switch from to-do list to this, from your result list to your to-do list, if you just make this one switch, this will boost. This right here, this is the boost you're looking for. How are you going to get more done with less time? Focus on the result, not on the to-do. You could have 1,000,000 to-dos, and it's intimidating. So you want to boost in your energy and a boost in your time. Make a result list. Okay, next question. So after we get clear on what we want, then we're going to ask ourselves, so if that was R for result, then P is purpose. What is my purpose with this? What's my purpose with making phone calls? What's my purpose with making websites? What's my purpose with attending events? What's my purpose with buying a combo? What's the purpose with making this offer, watching these classes, reading this book? What's the purpose? See, if we don't have a purpose to drive the action necessary to get the result, then we need this emotional juice, as some say. We need emotional juice to back our result, the thing that we want. Okay, so one of my results, something I want to get, something I want as my outcome, is a private island with a farm on the northwest coast of Australia. That's what I want. That's my result, and I'm clear about it. Private island with a farm, northwest coast of Australia. Okay, so that's a huge, clear result, an outcome of what I want. If I don't have a purpose for it, and my purpose was just for fun or just because I want to feel good, those purposes are weak at best. So for me, my purpose is so that I can have a vibrant life as a stay-at-home parent. SAHP, stay-at-home parent. I want to have a vibrant life as a stay-at-home parent. So guess what? I need a lot of money. I need a private island. I need a farm. Okay. But now I got this emotional juice because I want to be a stay-at-home parent. Now I got something driving me that's more than just looks or, some luxury. Okay, so the P, RPM, the P is our purpose. Purpose. What is the purpose What's the why? Why on earth would you do this? Why do you want a farm? That's weird. Most people want farms. They want a grocery store. Okay, now RPM. So the M stands for method. What method? What approach? What's our method? That's the M. This is also the how. This is when and only when you start your brainstorming or your mastermind. After you're clear on your results and why, then let's go over and let's make a list of all the hows that we can think of to achieve that. How? How can we achieve this? So our R, P, M. RPM. Rapid planning method. M is also for massive action plan. Massive action plan. Now, what's interesting about this, so this is map. M, method, map, massive action plan. What's interesting about this idea and this concept and this way of going about it is in the beginning, when you first do it, it's actually going to take longer. So I started out this training saying, hey, this is going to be faster than a to-do list. But the first few times you do it, it will not be faster. It'll be slower. You're just learning. Once you got it down, you'll see that it'll actually take you less time. The to-do list, holy crap, guys. So remember the old to-do list, right? I got to do this and this and this and this and this. And what about this? No, I got to get my taxes and my classes and my opportunities and my businesses, and I got to read this book, and I got to do all these to-do lists. If you go through RPM and then you realize what result you're after, why you're going to do it, and then what method, what you'll learn is when you go over this massive action plan and you go over these are your hows, or this is now the to-do, you'll realize you're like, oh, I only need to do this, 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 and this to get my results. And now your to-do list is shrunk massively. So in the beginning, it's going to take some time because you got to develop this habit. But then what you're going to start doing is the next time it's time to organize, you're going to ask, what do I want? Not what should I do? Poor people ask, what should I do? Confused people ask, what should I do? People who are being pulled in a million directions, they're being pulled because they asked, what should I do? But if you're clear on your result, your purpose, then the to-dos, that makes it easy. And your return on time. So it was interesting. So I went through this training a while ago, and then yesterday I was sitting there going, all right, so what's another one of the results I want? So the other result I'm after is $1 million earned in 2018 through Renata's sales. Okay. Another outcome, something that I want, is an additional $4,000 a month in passive income from my real estate. Okay. So all of these results that I'm after lead into my purpose. And now when I go through and I'm making my to-do list, my old to-do list, if I was going to increase my passive income by $4,000, make $1 million, get my private island, my to-do list would never end. But now as I'm going through this, I realize there's only a few things I need to do every day to stay on track. And it got me excited, and I realized, whoa, this is all I got to do? Find the people, tell a story, build, prevents, follow up, comp plan. That's it. That's my method. So some of you will use this, some of you won't. Those of you who do, I'd like to hear from you in about a month after you've gone through this exercise and you're following up and then you're doing your to-dos. Let's talk in about a month, and let's share. Maybe someone else will be inspired to use this method. To-do list is for average people. RPM is for extraordinary people. Extraordinary. Okay, so let's say you're running this business with your spouse. Right? You're on the call right now. Your spouse is not on the call. And now you're going to go make a plan with them. Say, hey, April's halfway done. We're getting into May. Right? Any orders you put in now go into May. So yeah, let's talk about May. And if you start your conversation with what should we do, then you miss the point. Okay? It's not what should we do. It's what do we want. So you're going to start your conversations, all your planning methods, all your sessions where you're deciding where to put your energies and your resources. What's my outcome? What's my intended outcome? What do I want? What result are we after? Start there. Again, like I said, if you just do this, if you make the switch to go from result to do, just that, see a huge difference. If you go through with the purpose and the method, you'll be unstoppable. Okie dokie, artichoke. Questions, comments, concerns, ideas about RPM? Okay, who wants a private island? Well, don't shop where I'm shopping. Yeah, you bet, Charlene. Okay, so good. We want to hear it. All right, now I want to talk about, someone asked me yesterday, and I was a little surprised by the question, but it's all good. It's just feedback from me. But they said, why is Super Saturday so important? Why do you make such a big deal about Super Saturday? Right? I'm like, you got to be there. And he's like, well, I don't want to. I'm like, okay. And then that's when he's like, why is it such a big deal? Like, I already bought a combo. Why do I need to be at Super Saturday? So I'm wondering if you guys could tell me. Just put it into the chat real quick. Why, to you, is Super Saturday such a big deal? Why is it a big deal? I'll tell you why, for me, afterwards. Okay? So it's a big deal for some people because it's an opportunity to realign your efforts, your energies. Okay? It's also a big deal because of the environment. Right? We know that if you have a seed and you don't put it in the right environment, it's still not going to grow. Okay? Great marketing tool. So, Robbie, are you talking about proof as being the marketing tool? Leverage. Robbie says he leverages the leaders, lets them do all the talking. Okay, so there's another, there's a phrase that Charlene's hinting at here. He says, when you're almost about to give up, just being in that space forces you not to. So what he means by that is when you go to Super Saturdays, there's a phrase where it says either you need the meeting or the meeting needs you, or vice versa. Either you need the meeting or the meeting needs you. Now, why would we say it that way? Well, because if you're having a fantastic month, let's say March and April were kicking ass for you, and you show up and you tell somebody, that might be the day they were going to be like, you know what? If shit doesn't get straightened out this month, I'm out, right? It's not working for me and I need to leave. And then you share your story and he goes, oh, How? And you share with him how, and then he goes and makes 50 grand the following month. Huge. So sometimes you need the meeting. Sometimes the meeting needs you, right? If you had a fantastic month and you go, I don't need to go to Super Saturday. I had a fantastic month. Then you are missing the community aspect of this. How did you have a fantastic month? It's because someone else had a fantastic month, went to Super Saturday, and told everyone about it. So Natalie says it's a mastermind on how to run your business from people who are actually doing it. Just because you bought a combo doesn't mean you know how to sell one. Right. So more proof, more leverage. Results are in. People leading by result-oriented trainings. Right. This isn't ego-driven trainings. These are result-oriented trainings. So it's a big deal. You need the meeting or the meeting needs you. This is where, I mean, if you think about it, if you take responsibility for Renatus Nation, let's just say you are of the mindset that you are responsible for and about Renatus Nation. And if you were, you would understand that every day is someone's last day. Someone is deciding today is their last day, unless something happens. And then they hear a story. They get on a founder's webinar, an email goes out, a success webinar happens. They go to a house store, they hear something, this proof, this evidence, and it changes people. Like Sharon said, and I've seen it with a lot of people. They're like, holy crap, I was just about to give up. I was just about to say, you know what, I don't know if the return is there. I don't know if my time invested here is worth it. And then they hear one thing, one idea, one concept that changes everything. So why is Super Saturday a big deal? It's because it's an example. One of the reasons I think it's top priority for your calendar is it's an example. Humans thrive off examples. If we don't have examples, then we're just surviving. We're just getting through the day. But humans thrive, that says thrive, off examples. So you need examples of not only how to make money, but how to manage your time. Not only how to manage your time, but how to manage a team. Not only how to manage a team, but how to manage yourself. All these examples of different aspects of success in the business are at Super Saturdays. Okay. Another reason why it's a big deal in my world is because when people are showing up, our prospects have 3 questions in their mind. Will this work? Will this work for me? Right? These selfish prospects. Will this work? Will this work for me? And will I do it? Okay? Will this work? Will this work for me? And will I do it? Did you know your customers are constantly asking themselves these questions over and over and over? Right? From the very first time they see the ad, to then making the phone call, to receiving the email, to driving over there. Right? Some of your hour, sometimes an hour drive. What do you think is going through their head? I'll tell you, it's these questions. God, I hope this works. I hope this works for me. And man, I really hope I do it. I need a result in my life. I need some money. I need some clarity. I need some power. I need something, an idea. The time you get off the phone with them, they're still thinking that. Will this work? Will this work for me? And will I do it? So, when your customers asking these questions and they come to the intro, the 4 pillars, the epic, the intro, right? They come to the briefing, intro, follow up. What do you guys call it, America? We're going to call it the 4 pillars. When your customer comes to the 4 pillars, because of how our initial event is designed, there's a lot of sales aspects to it. And people feel it, and they go through it, and they understand it. Just, you go to buy furniture, you go buy a car, you go buy whatever, even go buy insurance. There's a sales process to it. And you just got to get through it kind of thing. Most people, that's their attitude about it. But at the Super Saturday, that's something different. Because when they come back to Super Saturday, then they see the system. When they're at Super Saturday and they see that it's not this, it's not really a performance or a show as much like the 4 pillars is, right? Or like an intensive even. Some intensives are very planned out and methodical. But Super Saturdays to me feel like everyone's just rolling up their sleeves and it's time to get to work. And when people see work happening, right? They see work. Well, work usually leads to pay. So when people see work and they see a system, guess what it does? It answers these questions. And our customers must have these questions answered before they buy. Will this work? Will this work for me? And will I do it? So Super Saturday, when they hear the trainer, or when they hear a testimonial, or they just see that we're giving out 1-star and 5-star awards, or they see the service cup, any of those things, the customers, the prospects start to realize, whoa, this is more than just sales. There's a system here. There's something that will actually work for me. Then they pull out their credit card. That's when they pull out their credit cards at Super Saturdays. So Super Saturday is not something to be skipped. It's not something to be passive about. It's, well, some people have a flawed thinking and they go, well, if I made more money, I'd go to more Super Saturdays. Have you ever heard someone talk like that? Well, if I could just get some more deals done, then I'd show up to more house tours. Okay. That's like saying, well, as soon as I can bench press 300 pounds, then I'll go to the gym. Right? As soon as I can run a marathon, then I'll put my shoes on. So don't think silly backwards like that. Super Saturdays, the people who make a lot of money go to the Super Saturdays. I go to Super Saturday to develop my skills. I don't go to Super Saturday because I have nothing better to do. Well, actually, I guess that is also why I have nothing better to do, because it's the most important thing. So a lot of the times I go to 2 Super Saturdays a month, or 3. You guys saw my schedule on Monday when we did the Money Monday webinar. I'm going to 9 Super Saturdays in a row, back to back to back to back to back to back. Now, some of you won't even go to 1. Some of you will only go to 1. It's up to you. Whatever level of seriousness you're going to take Super Saturday, it's an indicator of how you'll take other things seriously. Okay? So mistakenly, sometimes people will sit in the Super Saturday and they'll go, well, I've already heard this. Talk about that phrase for a second. I've already heard this. I've already heard this, or seen this, or someone already taught me this. Why am I here again? Okay. I'm making fun of this phrase, and if you don't get anything out of this except for the fact that I'm making fun of it, that should be an indicator to avoid phrases like this. I've already heard this. When we were talking about the teachability index, I don't remember how long ago it was, but we talked about the teachability index and how we show up in our world on a scale of 1 to 10 for 2 areas. 1, what is our willingness to learn? What is our willingness to learn? And then number 2 on a scale of 1 to 10 is what is our willingness to accept change? Okay. So on our teachability index, which is a huge indicator of how your life is going to turn out, if you use the phrase, I've already heard this, on a scale of 1 to 10, where does that put you on your willingness to learn? Wouldn't that put you at a 0 or a 1? I guess I don't have a 0 on the scale. That puts you at a 1. You'd be at the very bottom of willingness to learn when you say silly, closed-minded things like, I've already heard this. Okay. So something else to think about, if you've already heard it, that means we're repeating it, right? Repeat. Well, how do we learn? The best way to learn is to repeat. So if you're saying, well, I've already heard this, you're saying, I'm not interested in learning. If you're not interested in learning, get the hell out of this company. What are you doing with your time? Okay, so, and I know most people, you accidentally use phrases like this. I've already heard this. And you accidentally show up uncoachable. Doesn't matter though. If you accidentally run a stop sign or you accidentally do something like that, you still did it. You still closed your mind to learning. You still ran a stop sign. You're still getting a ticket. Doesn't matter if it was an accident. So this is why I feel like it's important to talk about. We want to stay teachable, coachable, and changing all the time. So I've had that little voice in my head. I promise. This little voice in my head has showed up. I've been sitting in Super Saturdays, and it shows up. And then I immediately start to think about 3 feet from gold. You guys familiar with this story? 3 feet from gold? 3 feet from gold. You should check out that book. It's a little story. 3 feet from gold. Well, basically, this guy had invested his entire life savings, his family's life savings, his warm markets life savings in excavation ventures for gold. He found a little bit of gold, said, hey, guys, there's a lot more to have. I just need your money. So he went after it and used all the resources and ran out of money and could not find the rest of the gold. So he sold all of his materials, all of his tools, all the equipment for a fraction of what he paid for him, and then had to pay all of his friends and family back. So what he learned, though, was the guy who bought the discounted materials and equipment from him carried on the search and opened up one of the biggest gold mines in North America. And the guy who dropped out, the guy who quit early, the guy who said, you know what, I've already gone through this. I've already heard this. He was 3 feet from gold, and someone else got the gold mine. If you miss Super Saturdays, that's like you selling your equipment and quitting early. It's like you walking away from a resource that you were 3 feet from, the thing you're after, the thing you've put so much energy and effort and money towards, which is creating this business. If you skip Super Saturdays, that's like the same guy who's 3 feet from gold. Don't miss it. Don't have this attitude of I've already heard this, because then you close your mind. You need to stay coachable, teachable, and understand that repetition is learning. And if you already heard this, or I know some people will say, I already know this, right? I already know this. Okay, well, if you know this, then why aren't you running a Super Saturday? Right? If you already know this, why aren't you holding the marker? Why aren't you clicking through PowerPoints and training people and closing combos? So don't stay ignorant, closed-minded, low teachability index statements. I know it's hard because Saturdays are fun. Saturdays are valuable. But guess what? When you don't have a job, every day is a Saturday. So if you invest 9 more Saturdays this year in your Super Saturdays in your markets or online, and you really invest in the information and you take the action and you go through your RPM, what we talked about earlier, right? Your rapid planning method. We go through RPM and you use what you're learning on your Super Saturdays, you won't need a job. Then using a Saturday won't be a challenge. Every day will turn into a Saturday. Isn't that what you want? Isn't that what we're after? So this is your opportunity. Lead by example, right? There are a lot of people at your Super Saturdays, online or local, who are great examples. It's time for you to be an example. You want people to buy from you, right? You want people to buy from you. They got these questions in their head. Will this work? Will this work for me, and will I do it? If you're at Super Saturdays, it's going to work for you a lot faster. You're going to do it a lot faster, so you have that proof for your prospects. It's a cycle, okay? If you skip a part of the cycle, you don't get the benefits of the cycle. Okay, so before we wrap up today, that's what I wanted to talk to you about, was the importance of Super Saturday, not to skip it, and then our RPM, or our rapid planning method. So before we wrap up the day, any questions about these two ideas or any other questions you have?
Hello.
Go ahead. What's up?
Hi, how are you today?
I'm loving life.
Awesome. Well, I'm in New York, upstate. I don't have like any community from Renatus at all. Like I can't there's nobody that I could find from Renatus in this area. The closest that I found was like about an hour and a half away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm trying to see how can I communicate more, since you guys all the way in Utah and Arizona and that area. How can I meet up with people and become with a team?
Yeah, there's a lot
something.
going on. Yeah, there's a lot going on in New England. With Massachusetts, Jersey, there's two other areas that are opening up in New England. So one great resource is the Impact webinars that Scott's team runs an hour before these webinars. And they have a chat box where people can type in where they're from and organize information and efforts that way. Do you have the link for the morning webinar prior to this webinar?
I don't think so, no. Not for that one.
Okay, so you are going to, tomorrow morning, I got one, you're going to go to let's see, BDG. I'm writing in capitals, but that's not necessary. Okay, BDG dot. It's in here somewhere.
Adobe Connect. Impact.
Adobe, thank you. Connect.com/impact. Okay. So that
Now, I am on a phone call for now, so when I go home, can I find that out?
Yeah, so these are all recorded.
Okay.
And so you can just go onto the Elevate Renatus YouTube and just pull this up and watch everything that I was writing out too. So it's Monday through Thursday,
Okay, wonderful.
7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, so that'd be 6 a.m. Central, 5 a.m. Holy crap! No, that's not right. Other way around.
It will be
8 and 9.
10
8
a.m. for
Central
us.
Time, 9 a.m. Would you look at that? I think I've left my time zone at least once in my life.
Now,
cool. So guess what?
Please.
That 90-minute drive, worth it. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Now, what you said about we should on the RPM that we should start with a like we should do the question how. Now I have a question about this exact thing. Like, how can I become like do a webinar or like start events for Renatas in my area to build that community? Because that's what I want to like start working on right now.
Perfect. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, live application of the RPM. Here we go. RPM. What's your name, friend? What's your name? ¿Cuál es tu
Bill.
nombre? Ben? I don't know. You broke
Bill.
up. One more time. Bill. All right,
Okay.
Bill.
Yep.
We're playing method with Bill. Bill wants to, you heard what he said. He wanted to do some webinars. He wanted to get something going. So if you guys noticed, even after the training, which is okay, happens all the time, he still phrased the question down here of what do I do to, what do I do? I want to start a community. What do I do? Well, let's talk about the result first. What is the point? What is the result that Bill is after? So Bill, putting you on the spot. What's your result?
So,
what would be the point?
Couple points. The first one is I have like a goal in my head that I want to save up, like I want to save amount of money, $90,000, so I can be able to buy my first house and move down to Virginia.
Okay, so let's stay focused on the result of what you asked me about starting a group meeting or starting a webinar, right?
Okay. Correct. So I want to do that because it is something I do like when I want to talk about like helping people to get into something like that.
Okay. And maybe I'm not asking it right. So when you're going to put in the effort and energy required to get this meeting up and running, what result do you want from a Renatus weekly meeting, a Renatus sales meeting? What result are you after for that?
Building like a community group, like another community in the area where I live. Because to be honest with you, I feel like the area that I'm living has a very big potential to grow. And Renatus, like when I signed up for them, it was like something that I liked and something that I want to imply in this area and have it grow in this area with a big community. I want to start doing that though myself in the area. So like I feel like I'm doing stuff.
We need a better signal from you. I'm getting like every other word.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
I was saying that this area has like a very good potential, and I want to imply what Renatus has in this area, and I want to like start growing a big team on that. I don't know if I'm like delivering the right message either with my answer, so I apologize. I'm not like, my English is not perfect to answer like and understand very well.
Hey, Michael, this is Jess. Can I just step in and say that I think it's important that you start with whatever you have, okay? If it's only you, you could literally put yourself on the calendar as the meeting, okay? You don't have to start with being a huge team, which is your long-term vision, but if you don't start with what you have, then you'll just be frustrated.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know what is up with the internet. Can you guys hear me okay? Awkward. Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you, Michael.
Yes,
Well,
we can
all right,
hear you
perfect.
fine.
Okay. So, Bill wants 90 grand. We're going to simplify this for Bill. We're running out of time. Bill wants 90 grand. and he wants it. What do you want to buy, Bill? What was it?
By the end of 2018.
2018. Okay. By December 31st, 2018, Bill will be in possession of, because he has earned, collected, and deposited $90,000 from Renata's sales. That's what he's after. That's his result. Okay, what's the purpose? What's the why? Did you hear his why? Did you guys hear it? He already shared. His why is because he wants to buy his first house. He wants to buy his first home and live there and pay for it himself. So that's a pretty powerful and energetic, emotionally juicy why. And then, now that we know, okay, Bill's after 90 grand to get his first home. So now we're going to ask the question, method. Which methods are we going to use so that we get 90 grand by December to buy the first house? What methods are we going to use? Well, one thing, Bill, is you're going to attend. That's gigantic. You're going to attend every Super Saturday within a 3-mile drive of your house. Attend every Super Saturday within a 3-mile drive, 3-hour, not mile, 3-hour drive of your house. Okay? No matter what. It's part of the method for you to be able to develop your business. You got to be around people who are doing it. So that is a method. Attending these morning trainings is going to help a ton. One of your other methods is copy. Who is producing a result that you want? Who runs a local meeting and is producing a result you want, and who can you copy to get that same result? And use their method, right? This is the shortcut to this thing, is you don't have to develop a brand new unheard of method. Just use what's there.
Okay, can
Of
you
course.
still hear me?
Huh?
You can still hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect. Because I have an answer for that question already, actually.
Who?
I heard about your story, and I was trying to be like, do what you did. That's what made me sign up also for Renata's, after like your story in specific.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
My friend told me about it, and that what pushed me more.
Sweet. Okay, so the main method is find the people, tell the story, build for events, and continue follow-up. So what you need to decide, Bill, is how are you going to find the people? How are you going to tell the story? What events are you going to build for? This is now the method that you need to decide. And if you need some help making that decision, then go watch the 10-step training in your business center.
Okay. By Bob Schneider?
Correct. And he's going to show you,
okay.
These are the top 5 methods for finding the people. Here are the methods for telling the story, and here are the methods for building for events. Okay. And now if you're committed and you make those 1, 2, 3 hour drives to those meetings, Then when you're marketing and you have a prospect that says, I don't know, it's like a half hour away, that's long. You'd be like, listen, I drive 3 hours to this freaking meeting. You're either going to be there or I'm going to hang up on you. Or whatever amount of enthusiasm you want to bring to the call. But if you don't make your effort to go to the meetings, then you can't expect your prospects to do that either. So it's on you, baby.
Okay, so I gotta contact the people that are in Buffalo and see if they do that Super Saturday meeting.
Correct.
All right.
And if they don't, then you need to ask when and how and what do we need to do to get one going for May.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure they do. Okay. Awesome, guys. We are past the time, so we're going to end this. But I appreciate you guys being here. And keep kicking ass and taking names, guys. We are on top of this thing. So stay focused. 2018 is your year. We'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.